So today I would like to begin the session with expressing my greetings to all the Dhamma friends. So even though the weather is not that good, but still we are able to arrange this gathering, and I'm so happy to see all the Dhamma friends here today. So even though,
Allora, tadi gyuja sumba sedres, ane gyuja sumba di sanji chomdeni kusong tuyo de chene wane thoma chaza pardo dolda ba tama mawa chabas gyuja sumba sedres.
So the preliminary recitation that the Rinpoche made was the daily 3 daily practices, which begins with prostration and then recitation of the sutra, and then the dedication. Yeah. Sorry. Sutra. So it's just verses of sutra. To subdue one's mind related with this, so the verses of sutras are recited. And then later, Rinpoche, before beginning the speech, he recite 4 verses, which is in appreciation of Buddha and His Holiness the 14th Dalai.
Sono nambares, ane nazo nambe tele ya gewa de ne sono chambares. Nazo nambazo ke ne miyu tatu ke miyu de ne tarwada tamje ki be kopares. Ane nega ke miyu di ane ta chimane songa ma gewa chures.
So we all are Buddhists, so we are very fortunate, and we are very lucky and fortunate to be as a Buddhist. And as a Buddhist, our ultimate object is to achieve Buddhahood. But for the temporary, we must work hard and practice not to be born in the lower realms. So to escape from temporary downfalling, like to refrain from or to not to fall into the lower realms, we must practice. We must abide by or practice the wholesome actions, and not to refrain from the non-virtuous actions.
매워서 이거 아주 개정을
So in future, whether we again engage in the non-virtuous actions or not, we can make commitment right now. But if we have already accumulated tremendous of demerit and engage in unwholesome actions, then it is crucial or it is very important to cleanse them or purify them.
니마기 안에 사스리기 안에 말아서게 되거든요. 안에 되게 매워서 샤프치야라 안에 다시 손으로 마시기 is.
So today I'm going to talk about how the past accumulated demerits to be cleansed. I'm going to talk about this in 3 categories.
다들의 하는 통마디라네 샤에게 뒷바디는 무엇을 보세요? 샤에게 뒷바디라네 샤자 뒷바디라야 뒷배 고트록스나 그래서 마다 투요레스 안에 나네 뒤쇼세게 냠보들라 안에 냠보 톱시스 그래서 안에 내 쇼수들라네 저와다 것이 좋고스나 수레스.
So to begin with, we must try to recognize the unwholesome actions that action result, and applying 6, this can be cleansed or purified in application with application of 6 doors. Okay, and then as an antidote, there are 4 different kind of antidotes. This need to be understood first.
다 쇼수들라네 저에 좋습니다. 샤자 대비 코트 쇼제 냠보 없이 이 샤수 저와다 것이 좋습니다.
There are 6 grounds on which we accumulate demerit and unwholesome result, and they are same time application can be made with 4 antidotes, and and then the conclusion or the main principal actions. They are of 3 different kinds.
아샤제 대비 고축이 방법이 되기 고스그레스 되기 고세디 안에 대바디 가르치고서는 저 통험에 반에 다다라서 사샤야 되다 대바디 사샤고레스.
So and the 6th ground on which we accumulate demerits. The first one is the ground of time span, ground of time, because from the time beginningless until now we have accumulated tremendous of demerit and unwholesome actions. So these need to be cleansed. These need to be purified. So to understand this is also important, very important.
아주 대파샤자 장반이야. 세대지 보지 사실 그거 말이야. 또 겨와 통화만 대박. 아니 영어도 봐. 아니 내가 사요를 되게 성만 샤비 장마서비 이사게 성게 그래서.
So when we purify our demerits or impurities, we should not focus only in the demerit that we have accumulated in this life, but rather we should focus on the demerit or the unwholesome or non-virtuous action result that we have accumulated from the very beginning of our lives.
하디네 니와 주의 거기 가라서는 주디 아니 다시 말이 바탕 아니 렌젤라 뭐 원기스 거기 아니 레사샤 되거든요.
And the second one is the source which we have been driven to accumulate all sort of unwholesome actions and brings results. So the source or the basis are the afflictive emotions and the basis are Rinpoche. Is the basis or the root cause of our being engaged in the unwholesome actions is the ignorance and not knowing the actual law of causalities. So the reason why we accumulate tremendous of demerit and unwholesome action is because of our ignorance towards the cause and effect. The kindness and goodness brings good, and the bad begets bad. So we don't know about this much. So therefore, we engage in the unwholesome actions. So, and then the third one is the doors in which, through which we accumulate all kind of unwholesome actions. So these, the body, speech, and mind. These are the three doors which are considered. So we accumulate tremendous of unwholesome actions through our, body and speech and mind. So all these, the accumulation of demerit which we accumulate through these doors need to be purified or cleansed. And then the fourth one is the object, to which the basis or the foundation on which we accumulated demerits and unwholesome actions. So these are the to the lower underprivileged being like humans and so forth, and including all the animals, and most superior object or base on which we accumulate demerit is the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And also, three jewels. So, accumulation of non-virtues or demerit based on the lower realm beings, so I shouldn't say that, but which also include humans also. So we accumulate tremendous of demerit through stealing, killing, and also using harsh words, and then playing with insects and animals and killing. All these are the basis that we accumulate. And at the same time, they are, so forth. Sexual misconduct as well. So we also, and the second one is that the accumulation of demerit and unwholesome results due to disrespecting the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, especially particularly their statues, being so choosy about this statues, this statue is good and this statue is not good, and also walking on the statues, and instead of keeping disrespecting them, walking on the statues, and instead of keeping them at the high altar, if we keep them at the lower, on the ground, this also creates demerits, and likewise, and so forth. And accumulation of demerit through different religious traditions as well. Doing something biased towards, the religious. Our religious are good, their religious are not good. So if we, focus on this way, then this also becomes a cause to accumulate demerits and non-virtues. And
anda kendula tene yongurwas ne kendula yani kusharmache soba ande kendula khataye mazu chok kendudi ya ne khunzu chok kendudi ya bu yomar sene soba ma bu yongurwas.
And also disrespecting one's own traditions out of ignorance. Okay, so this and based on the sanghas, we also can accumulate tremendous of demerits. Like our sanghas are more superior than other sanghas. So if we be a bit biased towards them, then this also creates a tremendous of demerits. And the fifth one is the actual action to accumulate demerit. Actual action, okay? Either it do by ourselves or we are forced to do by others. So sometimes killing animals by ourselves, or if we ask someone to kill that animal. So this way, this also will be the source of bringing us the demerit result. So in terms of the action, the leaders of the nation or country are more tend to engage in this, because they can sit on their chair and then command the army to do the actions, engaging in battles and wars. So yeah. So the sixth one is different form or different classification of demerit or unwholesome result. So bodily three bodily actions, and four verbally, and and three mental actions, or unwholesome actions. Okay, in total they are 10. So these are the six unwholesome results. These need to be cleansed, purified. So they are now we have already recognized the basis upon which we accumulate tremendous of demerits and unwholesome reactions. Now there are four different kind of four opponent power which need to be applied to purify them. So the sixth point or the category that I mentioned are the unwholesome basis of the unwholesome actions that we tend to engage every day's life. So these need to be cleansed. These need to be purified. So they are like a poison or illness that we need to treat this away, give a appropriate treatment. So to purify that, we need to apply four opponent power, or like four antidotes. Okay, so there are the power of reliance. Yeah. Okay, and the power of complete remorse is the first one. The power of complete remorse, and then okay. So then we, it brings a kind of feeling that, oh, I shouldn't have taken the poison. It gives me unbearable pains. So likewise, whatever demerit or unwholesome action that we have accumulated brings us suffering. So they are the cause to make us take rebirth in the lower realms. So the first point, the power of complete remorse, is very important, very crucial, because some unwholesome action that we can recollect, we can remember that, but many of the unwholesome action that we engaged, we couldn't, remember them because we have engaged in from the time beginning less. So when we, develop kind of complete remorse, we also have to, focus on the time beginning less, not only for this life. And then the second power is the power of reliance. Yeah, power of taking refuge or reliance. Once we swallow poison, it gives us unbearable pains. So because of that, we just don't sit at house. We go to hospital. Power of reliance is like a doctor. Relying towards the doctor to treat you from this pain. So, yeah.
All that the doctor is sort of that, jump to the same case is, Punjo, Jaffe, Semjana Chambada Ninji, doctor is being considered.
So, like we rely towards our doctor when we swallow poison. So at the same time to purify this second power, which is the power of taking, the power of reliance, like taking refuge to three jivas and generation or cultivation of love, compassion, and bodhicittas towards all the suffering beings. So, as I mentioned earlier, we accumulate demerit or unwholesome. We engage in unwholesome actions based on two things: one for the lower sentient beings, and one for the supreme beings like Buddhas and three jivas, right? So the impurities that we accumulated based upon the sentient beings can be purified by generation or bringing forward the loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and the impurities that we have accumulated based on the supreme beings like Buddhas can be cleansed by taking refuge towards them. And then which we've finished. The second one, which is the power of reliance, and the third one is the power of turning away from faults. Okay, so this is like once we meet doctor will advise us or give us a prescription of medicine to overcome this pain. So it is like it is the turning away the faults, which is the third point. So the method to purify impurities can be any wholesome actions. If we engage in any wholesome actions, this will be the cause to purify impurities. So if we try to examine the principal method that can purify impurities, I'm going to explain this there are 7 points which I am going to explain it now.
개체쇼들다 교바디 거다 상인 코식 또 당보디 교바디 여기 토네 아니 가르치고 있으나 나다 당보면 교바디 개체쇼에서 소식이 당같은 거죠.
Before going through these 7 points of purifications, I would like to remind all of you that the principle or the main basis, which is the most crucial, is developing complete remorse towards the action that we accumulated. So the first point is reading sutras. Of the sutras taught by Buddhas. If you read this helps to purify. So some people to purify their impurities, they read thoroughly the 100 volumes of Buddha's Sutra to purify their impurities. And other means of helping us to purifying impurities is reciting the mantras of one's root master or any masters that we rely towards. One's principal deities. So our Vietnamese Dhamma friends, they used to Amitabha Buddha's mantra. This is really good, and we really appreciate that. And as far as Tibetan Buddhists concerned, they recite 6-syllable mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, and also Amitabha's mantra and Tara's mantra. So these, and at the same time, there are many mantras which really help us to, if we recite them 10, 100,000 times, it will help us to purify. So if a practitioner is quite high level tantric practitioners, so then they can meditate on Vajrasattva and do all kind of visualization, and they can recite mantra of 100,000. 100,000. If they recite Vajrasattva mantra for 100,000 times, then this helps to purify. So the third one is recalling the Buddha's name and doing prostrations. 35 devas or and 8 different medicine Buddhas, and all if we recite the names of them, then this also helps to purify.
다 시월에 가르치는다. 산지 구시에, 와 구시에. 아니 소라 배자만 못 받아야. 다만 시엔 또 그때 아니 최대 샤야라서 되게 받아야 되고 그래서.
And the fourth one is we can purify our impurities by making Buddha statues and printing the Buddhist, printing the sutras or texts, right? And then establishing stupas.
다 시월께서 다 나와게 그랬으면 다 되겠어. 근데 공조를 주면 그래야 산지의 공조 보이스, 산지의 저 경기바, 다들 연구시에 저거들이 나 저거 내가 보여라서 나 저거 보이게 나와. 다음 날에는 미교를 집안에 나디게 되는데 나는 마음을 잡으랬어.
And the fifth point is, making offerings to 3 jivas, and which include offering incense, fruits, and anything, right? And so many can be offered. And then we can also make offering to the poor people, yeah, and beggars, giving alms.
안에다 두번 가르치는 동반이 거기에서 다 잡셔들었어요. 돈이 넘치더랬어.
So the 7th point, which was the last point, is the most difficult point that one could practice, which is meditating on emptiness, right? And so forth.
아까 대신에다 대과사에다 탑, 네, 저기다 대신에서 되면 예배도 없어요.
So these are the method or the means which we can apply in our daily lives. So they are the antidotes. Okay, so they are called the 4 opponent power which can be applied to purify our impurities.
아니면 다마다 대과사 샤주르다 샤방에 근데 샤고스는 아니 좋아봐 무엇이 조성제스.
Now, how we can apply these antidotes in our day-to-day life? That there are 3 points that need to be kept in our mind. First one is the action. Yeah. The first one is the motivation. Okay, motivation. Okay, motivation to set up our motivation is the first one, and the second one is the actual actions. And then the third one, the last one is the dedication, making dedication.
All that 마침에 그것이 채셔서 공부하시라. 하다게 단다디 예배도 채사하다 또 시바도 하셔서 공부하면 식사. Forget one sorry. 또 예배가 또 시바와 근데 때 다보다 아니 순지도 니와도 때지도 숨어도 예배도와 그 시바도 되게 가서 예배가 또 없어요.
So now we have 4 power, the 4 opponent power. I have already talked about the 3 one, but I forgot to tell the 4th one. I forgot to tell that. The 4th one is the power of turning away from fault. Yeah. Okay. So making resolution. The fourth point. The power of making resolution. The fourth point is third one is the power of engaging fully in antidotes technique. The third one.
Penarwataki Minabati talk show. That talk show is a Bajerwa, and the members are cheap. Number 10. I remember Mense. Mense that told them about Tamachan of Tasma, that changing to Messas and Kamchashak.
So, for example, if one has swallowed poison and then he or she experiences pain and suffering and then rely to the doctor, and doctor gives him or her the medicine, and then once he is free from this pain or suffering, then he will make he will resolute, right, that he would never consume this poison again. This is the power of resolution.
That she and the case, she and the case should give up yet, and change this. We don't change it on top of it, and the case should yes.
So, the most important among all these four opponent power is the one that we take complete remorse and then making the resolution. These 2 points are the most important.
On that, today,
So any purification which include all these 4 opponent power, the practice or the purification has all these 4 power, then any impurities can be purified. So all of you may remember when the Buddha was present, there was a guy named Angulimala, right? So there are long story, but it may take time, so I will just make it brief. He killed 999 people, and he killed 999 people, and this is really a heinous crime. He should experience tremendous of suffering, but with the application of these 4 opponent power, and then he met Buddhas, and with the base upon these 4 power, he could purify his impurities.
And how much Yawamaki since Sumares, and Yawamaki Dragon, do legend Korean, Mira Dajiko, Yawamaki Yawata, Yumiga Severus, Pastor Master Chavas, Inea Sanje, Jet, Bashabi, and Konaman, Dajamatares.
So when the Buddha was present, there was a king called Maketa. I don't know his English name, but he, with the wrong advice given by some king, and he himself killed his both parents. So as the Buddha was present, he met Buddha, and with the application of these 4 opponent powers for the purification, he was able to cleanse his impurities.
다음에 신경 먹고 쓰고 좀 정도 먹고 좀 신경 먹고 내가 이거 먹고 싸요. 이나 타 아니 되바샤 거는 사게 그랬어.
So, Milarepa, as we all know, Milarepa, he in his, early lives, beginning of his lives, he killed many people, and with his black magic, he, and including horse and human, he killed 35 of them, and then he made strong fall on the farm, and lots of destructions were made. And later, by application of these four powerful opponents, he was able to purify and then ultimately achieve enlightenment in a one life.
I did it when Dawa, so Dawa Baby. Yahoo, shut there, then, Jimana was do Jibia stress. And the Jibba the pie, yes, and Dawama, Tom to pass. Or did not see Maranzo Yang, with the way today and the young, Taran the Papa, some Sake, and Dutch.
Also, it is like the sky overcast by black cloud. So, once the black cloud goes away, then the pure sky can be seen. So, it's like a moon in the sky, which has been overcast by a black cloud. So, once the black cloud goes away, the moon can be seen or can be visible very clearly. So likewise, our mind, which is the nature of Buddhahood, is obscured by afflictive emotions and karma. So once these are cleansed, then this mind ultimately can achieve Buddhahood. So with this we touched upon, or we talked with the four opponent power, which first is the power, for opponent power, and now I'm going to talk about the three conclusion parts. The motivation, the 3 points, which are how to subdue or how to cleanse, the application. How should we apply this power? Okay, the first one is the motivation, and the second one is the actual action, and then the third one is the dedication. So, in our daily lives, whatever practice we do with good motivation. Principally, we must set up our motivation in such a way that whatever we do, I will, do this for the well-being of all the sentient beings. And for this very purpose, I want to achieve Buddhahood. So, and the action is recitation of mantra, sutra, whatever practice that you do with the pure motivation, and then without any distraction, if you do, So the most important is, having complete remorse, towards action we engage in the past, non-virtuous actions engage in the past, and based upon that, whatever we, participate or engage in the practice, this will all become the cause to purify our impurities.
안다 교배계비 권한다 교배기로 다마다 친제되고 미치아 사마다 다디바 타송산 가와게 다에는 데벌레 미치아 사비케는 넘선치고레스.
So once we have finished with the actual actions of purification, then we must rejoice that I am able to cleanse all my negativities, and then applying or generation of resolution is very important. So we must resolute that I will come what may, I will never ever engage in the unwholesome actions again.
때나 맞아 보지 너를 제나 밤에 맛있는 가루다는 거 가루다 사서만 보고들이 아니다 들래 줘봐진다 줘봐게 맛있는 가능해야 와 다야 마음바래다 대리 공다시 다 대리는 나오수 지금해스 다 마음바래는 제일 내용스 다들 저와들 공다 마음바래는 지금해스 나고도 와스 배디나 시레스 맞아 다들 대과 사이드 맞아 너를 줘봐라스 다 마음바래는 대과 사이드네 너무 보고기 너를 쇼스는 공다라스 다 제일 밤에 가지고 다들 다 제일 딱 넥슨에 제일 매스 클래스 다들 공다 아니나 마음바 지기 있어서 지금 알아서 배디나 시레스.
So making resolution is like, is analogous is that if a child make mistake and then he gets scolded by his parents, and then the child apologize his parents and then make resolution that this child, he will never do this again. So if he say, I apologize for the mistake that I did, and in future I will do this again, then this is, something not correct. But instead, if the child says, I'm sorry, I will not do this again in the future, then the parents will be happy. So likewise, if we have accumulated tremendous demerit and non-virtuous actions earlier, and then without remorse, we purify all the impurities, and then we make resolution with strong sense of remorse that I will never do this again in the future. So the resolution and the remorse is very important.
자, 방법은 뭐와치 계속 그래서 더 공부하고 저쪽에는 되게想的그게와 가리사서 되게 안되지 뭐와 맞으나 아니 공부를 그 정도 그래서 어느 뭐와치 선제탐지 상기기사 그게 요를 좋아하셔서 아니면 상기기 때문에 요를도 내게 좋아하셔서 아니면 선제탐지기를 참받은 인지기에 요를 좋아하셔 자본의 시대 영화셔서 때문에 하고 그래서.
And the third one is making dedication. Whatever practice that we do to purify our impurities, we make dedication. The impurity, may the powerful, may the practice or the virtues that we accumulated be the cause to attain all the sentient beings Buddha. And may the power of these virtues be the cause to prevail peace in the world. And may the power of the cause to generate bodhicitta, loving kindness, compassion to all the sentient beings.
나 대리는 얘기 되는마 저기셔야겠다 되는 차빈스 참마왕게 야고 싶으시는 예송스 남시 야고 영마다 공세레스 제도만 배워야 된다고 그러지스.
So, with this, I'll wrap up the teachings. This will be my last teaching here in Vietnam, in Montreal. Even though the weather is not that good, but we still managed to, organize this teaching. So, I really appreciate every one of you that you have attentively listened to Dharma very carefully. Thank you.
다만서 나니까는 토야레스 웬코와 안타 달레마서 대표리가 되마 아짜리가 되야베 기부송스 나고 상맥이 가서 내래 로바 쇼리하고 체송스 근데 제가 대표에서가 제가서 말이 제가서 주제 상황에 투지 체스 슈리스.
So we are flying back to Vancouver day after tomorrow. So during our stay here, we really enjoyed, and the hospitality that you showed and that you established to us was really mind-blowing. So I take this opportunity to express my deep appreciation and thankful gratitude to all the Dharma friends through you. And there are so many Dharma friends who could not make it out today, so I express them my appreciation to all the Dharma friends present here.
Thank you. Now we do dedicate, okay? Dedicate.
Dzongkar Choede Rinpoche
Thank you.